Hi guys, welcome back to another Momo's Art Corner. Today I'm very excited because I drew something really cool. I'm not gonna lie, I have to brag on myself a little bit. I thought this was pretty rad, but in honor of the Renaissance World Tour, I decided to draw trading cards to give to other people who are part of the Beehive. Shout out to Beehive. And I kind of used all of her outfits thus far, or that we had seen at the point that I went to the show, to kind of make all these cards. That being said, this is kind of a hefty one. I didn't anticipate making 4 cards. Yeah, I made 4 cards. I originally was only gonna make 2. Mostly because one, I actually went to 2 shows. Okay, that's the brag. I went to 2 Renaissance shows, and so I was only making 2 for the 2 shows I went to, but I had a friend who was going to another show in Chicago, so I made this one that we're looking at right now specifically for that show. And then I made one for the show I went to in Scotland, and then another one for the show that I went to in my hometown, Miami. Shout out. So this ended up being way more footage than I thought it would be, so I had to split it up into 2 parts. So this part, we're gonna go through this piece, which I made for the Chicago show, and the other one that I made for the Miami show, based on 2 kind of iconic looks that Beyoncé wore during the Renaissance World Tour. Funnily enough, I actually had kind of like the idea for this. The idea of doing like trading cards is not brand new. I actually thought about this ages ago, back when I was an internet writer for BuzzFeed.com. Ever heard of it? We had to come up with like all these pitches and stuff for basically to pitch posts, right? And I just had like an entire like notebook of like things I'm like, that would be funny. So one of those ideas was actually to do celebrities as Pokemon trainers, and then I thought it would be fun if they were like Pokemon cards, and here we are. That was like ages ago. I kid you not. I'm not even gonna count how long it's been since I left BuzzFeed, but no, it was a long time. I had that sitting, marinating in the back of my mind, the recesses of my mind, that would be a cool thing to do. And honestly, I'm glad I did it when I did, which is now, because I feel like where my art is at much better suits what I wanted it to look like versus if I had attempted it however many years ago that I was at BuzzFeed. It just wouldn't have worked. Also, just a time crunch at BuzzFeed, I don't think I'd have been able to give it the detail that I wanted to give it. So, you know what? Ideas come when they're supposed to come, and you work on them when it's time. That's all I'm going to say. Everything happens when it's the time for it to happen. If you follow my Instagram at all, you'll probably have seen me working on something similar, but not exactly this. I actually started this, once again, ideas. They take a while to come to fruition, right? So I had the idea a million years ago. And then my first attempt was the Alien Superstar card, which this is not that. This is the Queen Bee card, but I'll actually show you guys the Alien Superstar card after the fact because I didn't record that one. Sorry. The Alien Superstar card, the first edition, I was kind of going for a little bit more of a cartoony vibe. And I don't know, I was going through major burnout when I tried to draw it originally, and I was like, this is ugly. So I ended up scrapping it, even though like in the moment I was so proud. I was like, man, I drew this. This is great. After the fact, I was like, this is hideous. I can't believe I've done this. So scrapped that and tried it again. And I think the second attempt was way more successful. And those were the cards that I ended up giving out in Scotland. So if you're one of the people who got the Edinburgh card, shout out, gang. Hope you guys love them. With the success of how that card looked, I kind of was like, okay, wait a minute. I kind of want to do another one. And that was at that point I'd seen my first show, which was the Scotland one. And also we were getting a bunch of like pictures of all of Beyonce's outfits on the tour. And they all look kind of superhero-y. You know what I mean? Like, if you've seen any of the costuming from the tour, I know you hear me. I know you feel me. They kind of have like this I'm gonna fight crimes vibe to it. And seeing that, I was kind of like, that's perfect material for making another card. And so this one was born, Queen Bee. So all that backstory aside, when I sat down to make or design this card, I was looking into different types of trading cards. I actually bought trading cards. Believe it or not, I bought trading cards to kind of like compare and contrast like what I was going for. So I bought some Magic the Gathering cards, and I actually bought baseball cards, and I also bought not the actual cards, but I bought this little book. X-Men, it's like a book about X-Men trading cards from the 90s. It ended up being the main source of inspiration for how the cards are going to look, because it was a lot more poppy and a lot more fun. And even though Magic the Gathering was kind of like the impetus, I hope I'm using that word correctly, but if I'm not, beg pardon. It was kind of the thing that started it all. Actually, that's not true. Pokemon started it all. It's the thing that started the second wave of it all. And yeah, I basically, you know me, I love my research. So I was looking through how the cards were laid out, and I really, really, really wanted to make the image big on the front, which is part of why the baseball cards were so appealing, because baseball cards have the player on the front and the stats on the back, while Magic the Gathering cards kind of have just like a standard back to them, and then the image kind of like on half of the card and the stats underneath. And I really wanted this image to be as big as possible, or as big as it can be realistically, because the cards are like 2.5 inches wide by 3.5 inches tall or something like that. So as big as I could possibly make it, because you know, I want something that's big. I want something that says I'm here, Beyoncé. All right. I probably waxed poetic enough about how this all came to be. Let's talk about why I posed things the way I did. The first card that we just saw, I mentioned before, was the Queen Bee card. I actually thought about this from the perspective of, once again, Pokemon and like evolutionary stages of Pokemon. So this is her first stage, which is the Beyoncé card, based off of the Virgo's Groove outfit on the tour girlies, you know what I'm talking about. Then we went to the Queen Bee card, is the second in the evolution, and then the final card is the Alien Superstar card, not seen here. So I was actually trying to break it down by that, and then also picking out my favorite looks, or the looks that seem like the most iconic from the tours. So this outfit, for instance, is kind of consistently in the show, so had to put her in there. Also, it looks great. And the Queen Bee outfit is, while not the same outfit used for that sequence throughout the show, I feel like it was a first bee one that I saw, and I don't know, it imprinted. I really loved it. So boom, that's the one I went with. I guess I low-key thought about this kind of like a character design project. So I was using kind of the costumes to determine the type of card that it was. So for instance, this card, or this outfit, she comes out in a clamshell for this number in the show, and in this outfit. And that just had me leaning along the lines of, like, you know, Little Mermaid Summer, Siren Song, songstress type of vibes, which that's why I was trying to lean so strongly into her singing as part of the posing for this. That's why she has the mic. That's why you got the little, I don't know, sound wave formation coming from her mouth and stuff like that. So I was really trying to make it like this jubilee of like light and color and sound for what we were doing here. I hope that reads. The former card, the Queen Bee card, that outfit to me felt a lot more warrior-like. It felt, I think, a lot more superhero when I looked at it. So that one, I really leaned into the fact that it's a battle, it's a war, you know. She's posing a more action style posing. She seems like she's in the middle of a fight, and all of that is based on the fact like that's what the outfit read like to me. And the very, very first card, the Alien Superstar card, I made that prior to seeing any footage from the show. That was made before the show started officially going on tour, so I used kind of the promotional material for Renaissance, like in general, and I was leaning into the idea of alien superstars, so it's like galaxies and she's outer space kind of vibes. So honestly though, if the show had come out before I made that card, I might have done something a little bit different, even though I'm proud of it and I think it looks good. I have a different idea that would have been so cool, but whatever. Okay, I really just want to point out how many times I like fumbled trying to make these arms look good. I don't know why this was so difficult. I mean, hands are difficult in general, but something about getting the arm in the right position, I don't know, I struggled with this one, and to be honest with you, I'm not 100% happy with it, but you know what, it was good enough, especially since the card is only 3.5 by 2.5 anyway, so you can't really tell. I wish I could say that this is the end of me working on this arm, but it's not. There I go again. You know, this is just proof to the fact that good things take time, and even somewhat okay things also take time. That's pretty much the majority of what I had to say about this piece. Like I said, there's a part 2 because there's another card that I want to show you guys. But yeah, I'll catch you guys at the end, and I'll show you like the physical copies of the cards. But yeah, I'll catch you at the end. I'll see you guys later. Okay, hi, I'm back. Here are the physical versions of the cards, including the Alien Superstar one that I promised I would share, and the Queen Bee card, which I worked on in the first half of this video. I'm actually going to save the Beyoncé card to show you for part 2, in addition to the secret bonus card. But yeah, we move. Okay, real quick, here's me at the concert being like, notice me, Beyoncé. She won't. I'm in the nosebleeds. Sigh. And then finally, we have kind of an action shot of all 4 cards in my hand at the concert. However, I did blur 2 of them because, I don't know, I gotta give you guys something to look forward to, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, I'm gonna leave the rest up to Queen Bee because she said it best. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you on the part 2, y'all. Bye. Thank you for your prayers. Thank you for your love. I want to give all my love right now.